Hello, welcome to the Robo Samurai channel, and today I'm going to be bringing you a review of the Transformers Legacy Evolution Origin Autobot Jazz. And this is a part of the Buzzworthy Bumblebee series that is available at Target and also available on Hasbro Pulse. I picked this up from Target because it just happened to be sitting there. Lucky me. Hey, great. You can go out there and find it. I think it's around $25, so just FYI. Oh, that's US dollars. So let's take a look at the packaging real quick here. You can see that we have the Cybertronian mode here for Jazz, and that's what we see in the very first episode of the Transformers cartoon. So if you don't know what this mode comes from, that's where it's from, okay? You see this, he's in this mode as he goes to Iacon, and he's going to deliver Optimus Prime some information. So yeah, pretty interesting here. So let's take a look here. There's the side. There's the back of the box there with the big glare on it. So, and then you can kind of see what they got going on there. And then there is the artwork for Jazz Origin mode. So, and it is plastic-free packaging except for the tape and glue. Yep. And that's true. And in here, it's like a double cardboarded box. So yeah, and he's kind of sandwiched in between there, but there's no plastic ties. Good job. So yeah, that's what we got going on with the packaging. Not too much else to report on that. Let's take a look at the star of the show, though, and that is Jazz. And yeah, he's really cool looking. I've been waiting for something like this forever, but okay. He's got... let's take a look at it and just see the paint job they've done on this guy. I'll talk about his accessories in just a moment. He only really comes with, technically 3, but... So, we can kind of see here that he's got his chest plate here. This is entirely painted. It's not evenly painted, so if you look in on yours and you don't see it's evenly painted and you have a choice, maybe you want to get that, take a look at that there. This is actually clear plastic that's all painted on his chest plate, so just FYI. It's also painted underneath here. And his face is painted. Speaking of which, let's take a quick look at that. And this, I believe, is exactly the same head sculpt and exactly the same face as the Studio Series Jazz. We'll do a little comparison of that in a bit. It's painted here on his shins here. I think this is painted gray. Yeah, definitely painted gray because you can see some of what they left over here. I'm going to kind of clean that off right there. And then down here, these are his feet are cast in, I think they're cast in gray and then painted around the edges. So you can kind of see there and there that it shows up. I think that's what we're dealing with on that. So, or maybe they're actually cast in this gray plastic and then painted that there. It's hard to tell because this gray looks very close to that gray, which for Hasbro, that's pretty good that they match grays. I mean, these grays are definitely different here, but this gray and that gray, the shin gray here, and then this gray that goes around his toe is pretty much, yeah, it's good stuff there. And you see the paint detailing on the back there, and he's, yeah, it's fairly clean. This is just blue, and you can see the transparent windshield there. So yeah, that's what they call it. It's a windshield, but that's pretty much what we got on his paint job there. So I'm going ahead and put them there, and we'll talk a little bit about these accessories. Let me lower the camera just a touch here so you can see the accessories. Not that I couldn't lift them in front of the lens, but he comes with this, this is his signature style gun here, and this gun is molded just like his G1 gun. However, it is not the same gun as the gun that he has in the Studio Series one. So this is slightly different, and I'll do a little comparison of those in a bit. Whoop, hey, come back. And then he has this thing here, which is the grappling hook. And this actually comes apart like this. So, and what they show on the box is that you can take this and then you can plug this into this, I think. Yeah, and then all of this he can hold in his hand, which actually it does fit pretty well. So now, yeah, so he's got that there and he can hold it like that. I don't prefer to do this, so I prefer him just holding his regular gun this way. So, yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. So, let's talk about, real quick, let's talk about his articulation. So his head is on a ball joint, so he can kind of look to the side. He can turn all the way around and do the exorcist thing. No, he doesn't do that. But he can look down, look up, all that. So good stuff. Yeah, he's got that going on. And then he's got his arms that can go all the way 360. These are nice tight joints, so that's not bad. We've got bicep swivel, and then we've got elbow bend about that much. And oh yeah, there's some black paint here. Sorry, I missed that. So yeah, there's black paint there, and there's black paint, a little bit of black paint there. So hey, they wanted to catch that. That's pretty good. I'll give credit where credit is due. So he does have waist swivel right here all the way around. He can go all the way around with that. So that's pretty good. As for his wrists, no, his wrists do not swivel. So he can stretch his arms all the way out like this. That's good. And then speaking of stretching things out, he can stretch his legs this way, do the splits that way, and he can do the splits this way. So yeah, pretty good articulation there. He does have knee bend, not quite 90 degrees, but that's not bad. And then it does swivel up here. See this? So it looks like a mushroom peg here. So he's got like upper thigh swivel there. He also has, I guess, toe tilting, a little bit of toe tilting, and then he has ankle rocking in this direction that way. So yeah, pretty good stuff, you know. So yeah, that's kind of how he shapes up there. Oh, by the way, let's talk a little bit about this accessory here. So yeah, it does come apart, and there's I don't know if there's much use for it to come apart like that. However, you can flip his wrist inward like this, and then you can attach this to it. So he can have that thing that he uses like a grappling hook or whatever. So that's basically what we're dealing with there. So, and he has that peg in the back of his hand on the other side as well, as you can see right there. So pretty good stuff. He also has holes on his shoulders, right here and here. I like those. That's great. Fantastic. And then the manual does say, if you so choose, you can take the whole thing and plug it into his back like this, or you like this for storage. So fantastic, you know, because he's got a hole right there. So let's go on ahead and bring out the Studio Series version of this figure, or Jazz, I should say, and we can kind of do a little side-by-side comparison. I can tell and see the head sculpts. The heads are the same. So this one, the Origin Jazz, does have a darker blue visor. So, but he is painted silver. There is no real difference there. What I do like, though, and I will point this out, is that if you look at the detailing here on his front chest plate here, it's kind of hard to tell, but what they've done is they've kind of like, there are ridges right here, and those ridges, these ridges right here, and this kind of panel lining, they tried to really match it up with this. So if you look here, he's got those same ridges here, and then, you know, the panels look very similar in the front there. So that's really cool. I like that they did that. And it's like a compressed version of his chest because, you know, I mean, they were trying to give him the Porsche look that he has in his robot mode, you know, from the toy. And they wound up, you know, just giving it. Essentially, if you look at that cartoon, the first episode, you know, there's no differences, but the alt mode is where the differences do lie. So, and that's what we'll be looking at real quick here. So, oh yeah, one more comparison here is that here is Earthrise. I believe this is Earthrise, or This is War for Cybertron wheeljack. And yeah, wouldn't it be nice if we actually got a wheeljack that could transform in his Cybertronian mode? Then everything can be complete, you know, and they can carry all of their rods and take them back to Iacon and all that other stuff. So, but how about this? You know, we'll also compare him with Earthrise Optimus Prime, and I think that works out pretty well. You know, it feels like he's a little short. Let's see here. I mean, he is shorter. Just a bit shorter. I think he's the same height. About the same height, actually. So maybe not too bad there. But, you know, now you can have that little conversation where he's reporting back to him. That's what you want this figure for, right? Anyway, so let's go on ahead. And let's start with the transformation, shall we? Let's move forward on this. Well, by the way, his instructions do look like this. The Buzzworthy Bumblebee instructions always look kind of yellowish and stuff. So, and there you can see some of the instructions and kind of what they've given us here in terms of transformation. So I'm going to follow a little bit along just so I don't screw anything up in the transformation. But let's go on ahead and get started. So the first thing they want us to do is to move these fists and just swivel them all the way in like that. Okay, and then we're going to put these to the side. Wait, hold on. Before I even go there, there is one thing that I forgot to point out, and I'm allowed to do this. So let's snap these in place. Let's take a look real quick. And I'm just curious here. See, these arms are not the same arms, and I just wanted to point that out. Boy, but they look... Actually, I think that these forearms are. If you look, the molding is the same. And as for the top part here, yeah, they're similar. I don't think they're exactly the same, but the forearms are the same. So we've got a couple of reused pieces here, and I did want to point that out, actually. So, and what they did with this one is they just painted it over in black to kind of cover up that, you know, this area here, so it looks like that. And then a little bit on that inside joint, which I could actually show you here on the Studio Series Jazz. So one would also think that these wrists are basically the same as well. And yeah, if you look at the detailing on the inside here, the detailing does match. So they did reuse the forearms. So very cool. All right. So I just wanted to point that out. Now let's get the transformation. So we're going to flip these in. We're going to flip those in, and then I'm going to pull these to the side. So we're going to do that. And the next thing they ask us to do is to pull this down, this cowling down here. Actually, what they tell us to do is do this. Well, flip this around. Turn his head all the way around. Then we're going to lift this up here, and look at that panel on the end, that has front chest panel there. You can see that's that clear plastic I was talking to you about. Okay, so we're going to pull that up like this. Then we're going to pull this down thusly. Okay, we're going to kind of hold on to that. And one thing I did find out, I guess, is that these two tabs here are going to tab into this area here, and you're going to want to be real careful of that when you untab it when you transform it back into robot mode, just as a point. Okay, so we're going to kind of put this up like this. So, and then what they want us to do is to turn these here. Oh, actually, this is the weird part here. Now, re-looking at this. So we're going to take this grappling hook right here, and they want us to plug it right there in the center of the chest. So, yeah. And so if you look, and if I take this off, you're going to have it like this. So it's kind of curved like this. And then you want these two little spikes here, you know, so it looks kind of like a triangle. If that looks clear on the camera, then I've done my job there. So, because that's the way it's going to help all this kind of fit together. Okay. So, now what we want to do is we're going to turn these arms this direction here. So, we're going to turn them both inwards, not that part, but this part here. Okay. All right. And then, we're going to take them and pull them in like this. Okay. And we're going to bend these up just a little bit. They want us to bend this up like that. And that'll become, we'll get back to that in a bit. So this is kind of what you should have going on. The next thing is we're going to take this and then actually swing this over here. Okay, and we want to make this go into here. Now, look very carefully. there is a tab right here, and there's a slot there. You're aiming for that. So we're going to plug this in and make sure that that kind of lines up and snaps into that slot. So let's see here. And this is on a double hinge, by the way. So, and there we go. Just like that. And then this here, we'll take care of that in just a moment. The next thing they want us to do is flip over here, take the feet, and then push them in like this, and do the same thing here to this one. Okay, and then we're going to take these and open them up, and I'm going to show you a little something here. So let's, and when you open this, and I think it's easier to see, they don't show you this on the instructions. So open up, you can open this up, and you can see where it hinges right here, the way it clicks in. That's the area you're going to unsnap. So that way you're not going to bend against anything weird. So if you look here at this piece right here, this is the hinge. When I first did this, it was a little bit funky to me. So now I'm giving you kind of the thing that you need to do. So it's gonna feel real tight when you pull it past this. So so just kind of give it a pull this way. I want you to break. It's a little almost too tight here. So yeah, so not one of my favorite things to transform. There we go. So there we go. And you can see what I did there. And I don't know if there's any other better way to do that, but see how it unhooked there? That hit, yeah, that's really insane. Now, there is something else to point out here. If you look here, there is a tab right here. And on the inside of this door, there's a slot. See, that kind of like will line right up when you put this back into robot mode, and it'll lock here and it'll lock there. So it goes like that. So, but just kind of give it a nice thing. Maybe what you want to do is you want to use like maybe a spudger so you don't like damage anything. But, you know, I didn't. So, and then I'm going to put that foot back so we can get all that back. Open up this. This is the door. So unfold that out. And then we're going to just kind of do the same thing to the other side here. So let's do that again. Flip this out, open this. That was so much easier. And then the one thing that you should note, and probably you can do now, is that you can fold this foot in. And you can see how it kind of locks in that way. And that's what we're doing here. So, and the same thing on the other side. So the instructions kind of tell you to close these. Maybe you want to partially close them as you do this. So, and then there we go. And then once you push that in, then everything kind of lines up. You can snap all this stuff back together. So we've got this and this. So you can snap these legs together. And these will... and these tabs are kind of opposite of each other, so one should go over on the top like that, and then we can go on ahead and line everything up. There is another set of tabs on the inside that do the same thing, so close everything up and then just push them together. Snap, snap, snap. There you go. So, and now what you should have is something that looks like this, and then if this comes undone, just redo it. Go ahead and drop this in here. And then those will tab just like I was showing you earlier. And then what you want to do is I found out the easiest way, because see, these are actually hooks. And if you look really carefully on the video here, you'll see that they are, the plastic blue is a hook. So what I like to do is I like to bend it, fit it in this way, and then begin closing this up. Okay. So you do this and this at the same time. And then kind of close that in. Now, here's the other disadvantage, though. You're supposed to tab. There's a little tab right here. Maybe hard to see, but this, you tab the bottom of this arm into there, and then it also will lock in on that side. So what you want to do is just try to tab everything together at this point. So tab that in there. And if you look here on the inside of the door, there's a tab there and a slot there. So go on ahead and just drop that in there. And then, and you should line everything up. And this is the reason why you want to kind of keep this little grapple hook in that kind of triangle configuration like I showed you. So All right, so let's see if we can't get everything to line up. So kind of push down here, push down there, push here, and push there, and then make sure that all of this is kind of tabbed together. So you're gonna give everything, I guess, a good squeeze. So kind of line everything up. Okay, and yeah, and then that should have, like I said, was tabbed there, and then this is it. This is Jazz in his Cybertronian alt mode. And it looks really good. I do really like this, and I don't think that there is even a third-party offering on this. So, yeah, this is what we got. So, let's take a look at the detailing. You can see the big Autobot symbol right there. This is all painted white on the clear part, and then you've got blue and blue, and then some silver here. And yeah, you can see the Autobot symbol there. This does not tuck in any more than that. And I don't think I'm getting this wrong, but that's it. You know, see, it wants to untab itself after that. So, let's see here. Yeah, yep. So that's about it. You know, I mean, it's you've got pieces sticking out underneath there. So, and then here's what the back looks like right there. And then they tell you that you can take the gun and you can mount it here on the roof like that. And yeah, that's kind of what we're dealing with. You could probably also do this. It's got a side peg as well. Yeah, so that's how that looks. Overall, not too bad. But of course, if you're going to be displaying it like this, which I probably will be honest with you, he'll probably be displayed with Bumblebee just like that. So in both of their Cybertronian modes. So yeah, so very cool stuff. Yeah, so pretty much this is it. This is what we've got, and I really do like the design. I would like to see a third-party company come out with something like this. I think that this is kind of yeah, some stuff hanging out over here. I didn't quite clean that up. Maybe they could have made the arms a little bit smaller, and it would have been, you know, a little bit more cleaner profile here. But I think the one thing you might want to worry about is this chest plate. You know, since it's on clear plastic and it's all painted, you might want to be careful with that. Outside of that, yeah, it looks really good. And, you know, bravo to Hasbro and Takara Tomy for making this mold. Anyway, so that's pretty much what I have for you guys today. If you like this video, please subscribe. Give it a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.